All right, what's up, everyone? Back again on the Greyhound investment page. Today is a very special day because I managed to get Janak to sit down with me and go through and make a video with me. It's been a very long time. It feels like
Yeah, been
a
long
long
time.
time.
Yes, bro. Been long time. Hello, everyone. Yeah, glad to be back with Arwin to share some good information for all our viewers today.
Yeah. Anyway, Janak's not gone missing lah. What is because just for the rest of you guys to know that Janak is also a licensed financial planner, correct? So
Yes.
he also does life insurance. He does medical cards and things like that. So do give him
Mm.
a shout out if you guys want to engage him in the wholesome planning. Okay, where we start from like insurance and all that start up to. I'm not sure like he'll get it for you lah. Okay,
Thank you,
so
thank
I'm
you.
not that's not my forte, but he does that, and he just told me before we came online that he's just been following up its year end, and he's been sitting down with all his clients one by one,
Mm.
just reviewing their policies, talking to them, and it's just a different style of work, which is for him has been very effective. He's done it for 8 years, and he's quite successful. So yeah, so that's why he's busy. So maybe when he comes to January, you'll see him online more lah. Once he's done
Mm.
reviewing all his clients for the year.
Yep. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so Janet, I think today we can have a chat about something a little bit more relevant towards unit trust.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about offline. We were talking about the power of compounding.
Mm.
So yeah, do you want to jump into that today?
Can, bro. Yeah, it's important. I think a lot of things that we discuss about investments. A lot of people always think that it's like averaging method and how does it actually really work and how it um, in some ways also like use the word compounding, right?
Mhm.
Actually, a lot of people might think that it's not compounding, so it's good we're going to show them today on how
Okay,
actually
yeah,
it can match and maybe way better than
different
all
avenues of
the correct all the
investments.
other
Yeah.
avenues. Yep.
Okay, so basically, compounding is like a super powerful tool lah. The longer you keep your investment compounded, the bigger the sum becomes. It is like a snowball, where it goes slowly, compounds slowly, and the next thing you know, it's going bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's uncontrollable lah. So that's why a lot
Mm.
of times we advise our clients who are in early 20s, 2021, start investing when you are as young as that. Your $100 at the age of 21 will work for you harder than your $100 at the age of 31 or 41. So we'll look at some of
Mm.
those as well, and then we'll look at compounding differences between uh, two or three different financial
Avenues and
instruments.
vehicles lah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me pull out the our most favorite like calculator lah, which is the what if analysis calculator.
Mm.
This is like our, if like unit trust agents had like superpower, right? This would be like our superpower lah. Our, our what if
Yeah,
analysis calculator.
true. I think it's important because usually whenever we see clients, right, especially for savings, usually always they have a lot of vehicles like okay lah, give and take. One of it is our main banks.
Hmm.
Then of course we have the fixed deposit.
Correct.
Then the rest is like all the pension funds, the
Correct.
one
Yeah.
retirements one. So that is all actually using the compounding method.
Hmm.
So usually when you get clients, they always ask, how does investment compounds? So I think what we're going to show the viewers today is something very interesting, how investment actually can compound as well, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. So since you said banks and fixed deposits, let's do that first, and then
Mm.
we'll go into the compulsory pension funds that all Malaysians have to invest in. So we can't do direct comparisons with that. So what we'll do is
Mm.
I'm just going to leave it to your imagination and kind of like try to figure out what we're saying. If you don't understand, you can text us personally, and we can give you some light on
Guide
what
you
we're doing.
further. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so let's do it first. So I like to talk about always the Progress Fund because it is like a one of the popular funds within Manulife, and it's got a 18-year historic data. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so let's just Now, compound it with, not compound it. We said compounding so many times that I can't use, and I can't think of another word. Compare it with fixed deposit returns. Okay. So generally, what this has done here is taken an average of the fixed deposit returns for the last 18 years.
Okay.
Okay. And it's come to about a figure of 3%. We know right now fixed deposits are just giving a mere 1.8. Maybe some people say 2, fine, 2, let it be 2. Okay, but these rates are going to be showing about 3% lah. Okay, so let's look at that. So let's say compounding. So do you want to do like a lump sum investment, 100,000, or do you want to do like a monthly $1,000? So that is up to you.
Okay, why not we show our viewers if they do regular savings, like you said, the monthly one, and after that maybe we can show the lump sum one lah, who those wants to do lump sum investments.
Okay, so let's do 1,000 ringgit monthly investment. Okay, so a lot of times people ask me about fees and all that. So we do have fees. Obviously, we have fees. Otherwise, how do we earn? But I always tell them one thing, very simple, that your fees is so irrelevant. If you look at your final number, you will not think of your fees anymore. So what we're going to do here, right? The service charge, we're going to put it as full service charge. So we're going to ensure whatever you put, and at the end of it, it's like your net to net, including service charges, including taxations and everything inclusive. So whatever you get at the end of it is like yours.
So you can say summary that assuming they put 1,000 is 1,000 lah, correct?
Yeah, 1,000. They just have to think they put 1,000. Don't think about anything else lah. Okay, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's generate the report, and we'll see from there. Okay, so if you've been to some of our other videos, you definitely would have known that unit trusts, especially, it takes a while to break even, about 1 or 2 years to break even before it starts making money. And so you can see the graph here, that the orange line here is your fixed deposit average returns, and this is your unit trust returns. Okay, as you can see, it is a volatile return. So what we do is we take an average. Okay, some years might just be 4 or 5%, some years might be 15, drop minus 10, 40%, 30%, whatever not, you know, let it run as wild as it wants. We take the average of 8 years and then we compound it. We use that number to compound. Okay. So let's say we do $1,000 a month. At the end of 18-year tenure, you would have saved about 225,000 ringgit of your own money. Okay, you would have put aside $225,000 a month, and your net at that point that you can withdraw would be $567,000 compared to just 307,000 if you've left that in your FDs, fixed deposits, which is effectively $220,000 more. So now that's a huge sum, and this is a compounding rate of 9%. The markets are a little bit better for us at this point of time, so looking at about 9%. So yeah, you
average
can
9%.
Yeah, at this point, average 9%. So you can see that the difference is $220,000. So even this number here is an average. It's not a fixed number, the 3.21, because some years FD might give you 4, some years might give you lower, whatever not, we take the average and we compound it with that average number. Now, similarly with your pension fund, okay, so I'm going to do this as well. On average, we talk about 6%, okay? Some years I do about 6.1, 6.2. Other years, like last year, did about 5.5. This year, I don't think it's looking very great, but let's just give it a 6% average, because that's what we do. We plus minus everything and we give it a 6% average. And we do the same calculation. Not sure if I clicked it. Yeah, I clicked that. So bank, the silver line is your pension fund returns, and the gold line is your fixed deposit returns. Okay, and so here is where your green line is again your equity markets. So if you scroll down, the average for us maintains at 9. The average for fixed deposits maintains at about 3.21, and the average for your pension fund comes about 5.97%. Okay, so obviously it's not 100% every year at that 6% rate. Up and down, it varies. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. Okay, and there are many times that your pension funds might do better returns than your equity funds for the year, or then suddenly vice versa. So we need to take the average.
Okay.
Okay, so when we do that, now we look at the difference between your pension fund and your equity returns is about $160,000 as well.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a huge sum. Okay, and so yeah, this is something that you can share with your clients, and those who are watching right now can also like kind of like pick it out lah. Okay, so this is effectively unit trust. Okay, so that's what the power that we are able to compound at about 8 to 9%. Obviously, if you know how to do share market compounds at a higher rate. Okay, about 12 to 15%. Well, we don't do that. We don't know how to do that. So if you know how to if you want to get better than 9, you got to go and find like a, how do I say, a remiser lah, a remiser who's specialized in share markets and equity trading. In that sense, we are good at unit trust, and so we only talk about unit trust at this point of time lah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
we also, I think the reason why we're sharing this is because we always believe in long term, right?
correct. So
Long
unit
term.
trust in the long term, right? Like if you keep it long enough, it generates about 8 to 9%. You cannot run from that lah. So historic data proves this. So you don't really have to kind of like be too worried about it. Where else, if you dip into share market directly, it's very dangerous because, example, I give you a good example where I'll post this for a while. I remember last year when I was talking to my client, he said, hey, and this was when Tony Fernandez was like, had alleged corruption links or something like that. The Air Asia funds dropped. And the guy went to me and I said, hey, time to buy lah, because this thing will bounce back soon. So he bought, I didn't buy. And then it dropped again. And it dropped again. And it dropped again. And then COVID-19 came and it dropped so badly. Can you imagine the losses that poor guy has made today? Because of speculation, because of lack of diversification, because of all this, how do I say, if you don't know what you're doing, I say don't go lah. That's all only lah, I will say.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, so unit trust, we know what we're doing, so you can trust us in that sense, and we can move from there. Okay, so we'll do another comparison where we will do 100,000 lump sum, right? Okay, so this is actually fun lah. Share. So if you do 100,000 upfront, and you don't do anything else, no monthly, nothing, none. So let's see the reports. So obviously, if you can see, when you do lump sum, markets are a little bit more volatile because you're not asset averaging, which is also okay, because you see it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. But the end of it, what it does is it gives you, again, a same return, 9.03. No difference.
This was the same fund, right, that you mentioned?
Same fund, exact same fund, same time.
Yeah.
So here you see that your 100,000 is making you a profit of $404,000 compared to $196,000.
Wow, that's around 200.
That is 240,000. 200,000. Yeah, you just make it 200,000.
200,000 will have a lot of difference after how many years, isn't it, bro? 10,
18 years.
18 years, right?
Yeah. So yeah, 200,000 difference. And that's a huge sum. It's not a small sum, it's a big sum.
Yeah. That's the power of compounding you were mentioning earlier, right?
Correct. And then, like, sometimes people mistakenly say, like, oh, our pension fund gives us a fixed sum. It doesn't give you a fixed sum. The sum varies as well. Because at times that it gives you 6.2, 6.3, at times it gives you 5.5. This year might go lower than 5.5, maybe 5 if you're lucky. And then next year it might go back to about 6. Whatever the numbers are, it kind of averages at about 6. So it's not 6 definite every year. Your pension fund only promises you 2%. That is the minimum promise. They give you 2% per annum. So anything above 2 is actually depending on the profits they can generate lah.
Bonus lah.
Bonus lah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
bonus.
2% is a bit ridiculous lah. Nobody should put their money there if it's 2% lah. But so you get the point. So it's actually not one compounding number that's fixed. It has to be an average. Yeah,
Right.
that's good. I'll just show you one last calculator and then we can like jump out of this, which is a regular saving calculator. And we want to see the timeline of one wealth accumulator. Okay, so let's just say that you do $1,000 like earlier, right? Or let's just do, okay, we talked to the 18 to 21-year-old kids lah, 100 ringgit. That's all you can afford lah at the moment. Okay.
For
So
start.
100,
Yeah.
so 100 ringgit, 18. So until you retire at let's just say 60. So 60 minus 18 is what?
42.
42. 42 years, right?
Just keep 100 ringgit only consistently every month.
For 42 years. So you've invested 50,500. And now we just put a conservative 8%, not even 9. Let's see what it looks like. $417,000. That's a big sum.
This one, if with the scenario, they keep 100 ringgit every month from their age of 18 years
18?
old,
yeah,
until 60 years old.
Correct.
Right.
So they managed, they've got another close to $500,000 ringgit. So
just 100 ringgit a month.
Yeah, let's just say now we do 9%, a little bit higher, 570,000. So I'll be happy to say about $500,000 can be achieved if you're 18 and you wait till about 60. So now let's look at the same number, right? If you start at 28, so you got 32 years. If you start at 28 instead of 18, the whole thing cuts by half. Only 225,000 left. And then if you start at 38, right? Yeah. Only 83,000. Yeah. So this is the power of compounding. So the longer you keep at one sum, the higher the number becomes. So that's why I encourage people, like sometimes young guys, right, 20, 21, 22, just started working. I said, just do 100, 200, 300. Normally, I go with 300 because we can diversify among like 3 different funds like US or China or Malaysia or India. We pick the best funds at that point of time. So that is diversify. Because sometimes one fund, not to say what like it's just that it might take a longer time to bounce or something along those lines. So we want to spread our risk as well. So in that case, if you do 300 at 21 years old, normally this is my youngest investor is actually 19. Yeah, and he's doing about $100 a month at 19. Yeah,
41 years to go.
Yeah, he'll do well, and I'm sure he'll increase it. So 21 again, it will be about 39 years. Even if you start at 300 at 39, 1.3 million ringgit. That is a whole lot of money for your retirement. And
just 300 ringgit a month.
Yeah, if you start at 21 years old. Now, if you can manage, let's say, okay, never mind. I cannot start at 21. I start 25. Okay, I'm earning a little bit higher, 25, but I can do 500. Not even 1 million. Only about 570.
Yeah, but that one is a bit at 50 years old, right?
21 to, so it's 35, is it?
35, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So 1.4. So you can at about 60 years old, about 1.5 if you hit about 100,000 a month. Now this is a very, very comfortable retirement fund.
Yep.
If you can do just 2 million, I always tell my clients, get to at least plan to 2 million ringgit retirement fund. At least then at that point of time, you can withdraw $10,000 a month and maintain your 2 million, and you can still withdraw $10,000 a month to enjoy your lifestyle at that point of time.
Yep. And, I think 3 key points here to highlight, right, bro? I mean, from your sharing, right, very important for the viewers or the people watching here today. The first key point I think is the diversification you mentioned. Right,
Correct.
the
Yeah.
diversification of two things actually. The idea of diversification, one is, of course, you're telling everybody that don't put everything in one basket, correct?
Correct.
So you still do your regular savings because that is your emergency funds. You still do that savings every month for yourself.
Yes.
Then you have
That's right. Yeah.
then that's why you actually put your money for long term in fixed deposits and other avenues. The pension fund comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a second diversification. But I think in the diversification itself, the funds that we're going to suggest to them also is being diversified,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Agree. Yeah.
So I think diversification comes in two different categories here. So we help them to diversify one from their regular savings.
Correct.
In the funds itself, we diversify for them.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's a double diversification. You're right. Yeah.
diversification. Yeah. And then
Hey, maybe you know what, Janak? Sorry,
uh,
you were saying?
then the compounding also don't forget. Just now you were saying
Yes. Yeah. Very
the
powerful
compounding.
element. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was going to say, Janak, I like what you mentioned before. I do present this to my clients, and we probably have run through this as well. Maybe on the next session, let's kind of like try to make a model portfolio
Mhm.
for our clients to follow. It doesn't have to be only unit trust. It can be like how much they should spend on their expenditure, how much they should
Yes,
save, how
yes.
much liquid saving, and in terms of the liquid saving, how many months of emergency money they should have. And also, a lot of people don't know this. Maybe we can do that.
Yeah, yeah. That will really help a lot of viewers today in the
Yeah.
times of this pandemic as well, right?
Correct. And
Yeah.
this is like a proper planning lah, in terms of
Hmm.
trying to get your finances sorted. This will all include like your insurances. It will include your house loans, car loans. It will include your medical emergency bills,
Yes,
your
yes.
all of this, your unit trust investments, maybe even higher risk investments, and the whole lot lah. Let's try to kind of do a model portfolio and then
Hmm. That's a
share
good
that with
idea.
our
Yep, yep.
clients.
Yeah, will really help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea, bro. Yeah, yeah. Of course you can do it. That at least you have a lot of viewers in these times, right? For them to, I mean, a lot of people they have, I mean, some sort of savings, but they do not know how to diversify,
Manage it. Yeah, I agree
manage
lah.
it. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
managing part is very very important, especially since now we also in this industry, right? We always encourage people to plan.
Correct.
That's why we always tell keep for long term and stuff like that. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
And just now, the interesting part when you shared about keeping aside the 300 a month for a 25 years old person
Mm-hmm.
who keeps until 60 years old,
Correct. Yeah.
with the diversification that person is doing and the diversification we doing for that person,
Correct. Yeah.
they got 1.4 million, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So imagine that 1.4 million is actually from the diversification they do for them.
In
Then
just
don't
unit
forget,
trust. Yeah.
then they have their pension fund,
Correct.
they have the other funds actually
Normal
add up all
savings. They've got
together.
their properties and their rental and the whole lot. So you
Yeah,
got to
correct,
plan
correct.
well. If you want to be comfortable in life, you have to plan well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, unfortunately, a lot of people uh, are still stuck at the bottom 40 of the community, and
Mm.
we need to jump out of that. And this is one of the ways to jump out of the bottom 40 and the middle 40 lah. We can probably do that as well, like an analysis of what B40 and M40 and T20 actually means.
Yeah, yeah,
Because a
correct,
lot of
correct.
people just read that all the time, but they don't know what's the definitions of this as well.
Actually, yeah, a lot of information out there. Maybe sometimes a lot of people and there are too much of information, right? People get confused as well or
Yeah,
mixed
lah,
up.
yeah, lah.
Yeah. So
Correct.
it's not meant. Also, yeah, reading about it recently. Some survey done also. Average Malaysians, right? Recently lah, from their pension fund lah.
Mm.
Unfortunately, they only have like maybe less than 60,000.
No way, too little lah.
Uh, it's a real survey done recently.
Wow, very, very
Hmm.
little.
Yeah.
Where
So if
it will
you,
be done in like 3 years, and then what?
yeah, exactly. You're right, bro. Three
Yeah.
years is the one they give the maximum.
Mm.
And you know lah, a lot of people when they reach at that retirement age, they tend to withdraw everything out.
Correct, correct. And then they go
Yeah.
and spend on house renovation or children's marriage or some sort of that.
Yeah. So that's why we are actually telling to our viewers, you still have all that, you still do that, of course it's fine. But imagine for that same person, like how we shared today, if we help that person to start 300 ringgit, right? That person will have additional 1.4 million at 60 years old.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So that would have been a good buffer. You know, the pension fund don't really come that handy that time.
Yeah.
At least this will actually really help them.
Correct.
Mm.
All right. I think I'm done. Do you have anything else that you want to update
Mm.
viewers at the moment?
Yeah, I think in these times there is also a good news that came out recently about the pandemic,
Today,
right?
yeah. So yeah,
90%.
that's actually not a news, a huge news.
Yes, yes.
Markets are quite. So that's a topic for another day. We'll go into depth about that. So
Mm.
actually, Janak can't make the next meeting that we're having. That we're talking very specifically about the
The
COVID-19.
90% COVID.
Yeah,
We're
the
looking forward to
COVID-19
hear, bro. Don't
vaccine.
worry, don't
So
worry.
we're going to be doing that actually in about a few
Nice,
minutes time. But
nice,
so
nice.
Janak, I said, look, you got to come online. We haven't seen you for a while. I don't. Nobody, people are not going to recognize you anymore.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So yes, again, thank you very much for making time. I know you're a very busy man at this period of time, but I do hope that you sort all of that stuff out, and then we want to definitely hear your wisdom because you have a lot more a different skill set than I keep telling him. He's got a totally different skill set than I do, and I really enjoy having him in my agency because we complement each other so well. Everyone from
Yes,
our
yes.
agency got like different strengths, and I'd really like he's got something special that I don't have. Okay, so I really like being around him and being with him because he kind of like centers my zen lah. He gives
Thank
me
you,
the
bro. Glad
balance
to
lah.
be here. Yeah, glad to always join and share these good things because the idea of these sharing is actually to really help everybody out there.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give them guidance and to get them started with something because always people always say we don't know how to start.
Yeah.
But the first step is just start, then you'll get the way there, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that, guys. That is the power of compounding. If you've seen, so even 1 or 2 or 3% makes a huge difference, like we've shared in the start of the video. If you want to
Hmm.
know a little bit more about compounding, do get in touch with us directly. We'll drop down our WhatsApp links at the bottom of this video, so you can text us. And yeah, we hope to catch up with you guys soon. Then,
Yeah. Look
all right.
forward to help to hear everybody's and anybody who have like any questions or they're not sure, you always can post down here as well, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can post down here, and we'll get back to you
Hmm.
as well. No problem.
Yep. Yep. All
Okay.
right, bro.
All right, guys. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.
All right. Thanks, bro. Take care. Bye bye.